I would rather permanently smell like earring backs for the rest of my fucking life than be a trad wife, because what do you mean I have to ask a man for permission to spend his money? Like, I don't even trust male Instacart drivers with my grocery order because they always choose the worst fucking produce. But you want me to trust a man with my entire financial well-being and my family's financial well-being? Like, no, that's not happening. I also feel like making bread from scratch, like, yeah, that's fun once every 3 months when I feel like doing it, and I do it as a hobby. But if I had to do that, like if it was a necessity to do it once a week minimum, I genuinely feel like I'd go insane. It would feel like fucking purgatory. Like, are we serious? Or the concept that, like, if he's mad at you, then you can't buy any of the stuff on your fucking wish list because you have to go ask him for permission to buy it. And he's mad at you, so he's gonna say no. Like, are we serious? I would rather die. Or the concept of having to budget to stretch his salary for a family of 4. Like, or we could dual income and go to the Whole Foods hot bar. We could go to the hot bar and eat our fucking hearts out. Or we could budget your fucking salary because you want me to stay at home. Like, no. Yeah, point blank period. I could never be a trad wife because I like money too much. Maybe that's my fault.
What's making dating so difficult is that women are still unknowingly perpetuating patriarchal ideas.
Alright guys, I know a bunch of y'all men been looking for your traditional woman, your stay-at-home housewife, but I gotta warn you something they never told me. I came home earlier today from work, had a little time, she's out shopping. Look what I come home to see sitting here on the counter. Look at this. I've been working out every day. I've been hitting the weights. I got an actual visible six-pack. She's expecting me to come home with cookies the size of my damn head. Look at that stuff, man. You can't stay in shape like that. Look what I gotta deal with here. You gotta think long and hard. You really want a traditional housewife? Or do you want some kind of modern woman who's gonna leave you hungry so you can make your own damn cookies and food?
2 months before my ex-husband and I finally separated, we had a trip to Disney planned. And a few weeks before that trip, my ex-husband had gotten fired from his job and was yet again unemployed. I think the wives on here already know before I say it, but I planned that trip myself from top to bottom. It's not because I didn't want help. It's not because I didn't ask for help. It's because he would not give me help. I had narrowed down the Airbnbs to a handful of options, and I just wanted him to finalize the decision with me. Could not be bothered to find 5 minutes to sit down and look at houses with me. So I rented the house myself. I rented the minivan to drive there myself. I coordinated the trip from Pennsylvania to Florida for 4 adults, my parents went with, and 2 kids, myself. And if you've ever planned a trip to Disney, you know you don't just show up on a whim to Disney. You need to know which days you're going to which parks, and then within those parks, you need to know which restaurants you really want to go to, because you have to reserve them months in advance, especially if it's like the high demand restaurants. And then you want to do your fast passes for the big rides in advance. And then you have to coordinate your lunch reservations with your ride reservations to make sure you can get there in time. So there I am looking at maps of the parks, trying to coordinate. Can we get from that ride to that restaurant? Is that enough time? Like, hours of planning, hours and hours of planning. And then packing everything for the kids for a week in Florida, plus obviously packing everything for myself. All this man had to do was show up. He just had to show up with a suitcase of clothing. I paid for everything. I coordinated everything. He just had to show up. And do you think he appreciated that? No. Shocker, right? The bitching and moaning this man did the entire trip. Nothing suited. Nothing suited. It was too hot. It was Florida. There was too much walking. There was too much waiting in line. What's the point of having reservations if you still have to wait when you get there? Why is our lunch reservation at 1:45? Who eats lunch at 1:45? Because that's what was available. Because that particular restaurant, I remember it. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one in Magic Kingdom where like Winnie the Pooh and them all are. And it was important to let the kids have lunch with Winnie the Pooh, even if it's at 1:45, right? Just like nothing about it suited. And if you have young kids, ours were 5 and 2 at the time, and you're planning a trip to Disney, you know that that trip is not really about you. You might find some stuff that you enjoy while you're there, but the trip is for the kids. It's about letting them have that magic experience, and then you get your fulfillment from watching them have that experience, right? Like, you're not going to get to do everything you want to do, but you want to try and get your kids as many of those experiences. So we had lunch at some weird times so that the kids could have lunch with the characters. Like, that's just what you do. But every part of this trip was just so much bitching and moaning, and nothing I had done was good enough. Everything was, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Bitch, why didn't you help plan it? Right? Like, I had to do everything. And I will never forget, on the drive home, we stopped at a Chick-fil-A for lunch, and I was driving that portion of the trip. Like, we had the 4 adults, we took turns driving. I was driving as we were cruising into lunch, so I handed him my phone, because I had the Chick-fil-A app, and just to have him put in the lunch order. And it was such a fucking debacle that, like, he didn't even order anything for me. And so, we get to Chick-fil-A, and we have to wait for the food, because I had to order more. And my mom and I are with the kids in the little play area they have there. And I lost it. Like, I just finally had a meltdown. And I remember saying to my poor mother, what's worse, putting the kids through a divorce or spending the rest of my life with this idiot? And she just looked at me, because up until that point, like, I hadn't really voiced to my parents how unhappy I was. Like, I was kind of leaving them out of it, right? But I had just seen what the rest of my life was going to be like with this man. It was going to be me doing everything and it never being appreciated. And I just couldn't do it. Let's stop pretending that letting your partner default to making all the decisions is somehow doing them a favor. Let's stop pretending that saying, oh, you do what you decide, whatever you want. Let's stop pretending that's like a gift, because it's not. I don't want to be told, oh, you decide. I want you to decide. I don't want to make all the decisions. Do you know how nice it is to just show up and somebody else has actually planned something? I never experienced that until my current relationship, where it's like my man now, he'll just plan a date night, and all I gotta do is get ready and look pretty. And it's so nice. Let's start being partners. Because I think that's what we all want. We want a partner. We don't want another responsibility.
We are gonna get into these elders recordings. This is part 1. Just a disclaimer, okay? I need to give a disclaimer because this elders meeting is wild. Full disclaimer, this is very triggering. It does touch on topics about SA and unaliving yourself and all the other traumatic things that comes with being in this cult. Everything you can think of, it's in this meeting, okay? So if that's something that triggers you, then I was forced to have this meeting. I did not want to have this meeting. Keep in mind, this was literally right after I had woken up. So I wasn't 100% fully woken up, if that makes sense. I was still on the edge. I had just woken up. So to have this meeting was a lot. This meeting is with 2 elders. The first elder, he was my field service, what y'all call him? He was my field service coordinator. The next guy, the one where we're going back and forth, that is the circuit overseer. Okay, y'all? The way I sound is so cringy. Like, I sound like a little girl. Don't mind how cringy I sound, okay? I was a Jehovah's Witness. Okay, let's get into it, y'all. Okay, I can hear you better.
All right. Good. So you got your fresh bob cut in, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Did you do it, or you had someone do it for you?
No, I did it myself.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like doing hair.
How did you, pick you point it back? Did you start in the back or the front?
It was like, I just hold and then just... Okay, y'all. This man, oh my God. This is the circuit overseer starting. This man out here acting like we friends. Acting like he knows hair. Trying to ask me about my bob. This little fake... The beginning of this conversation is literally makes me want to throw up. It's so cringy. He's trying to build a rapport with me and trying to act like he cares. Like, just start the conversation. We don't need the fake ass... Cut all the way. Like, yeah.
Because a natural bob in the back, it's supposed to be up a little higher.
Yeah.
It's going around, it's supposed to drop down.
Have a little layer.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
You said you didn't log on here to talk about hair, did you? I didn't. The last one when he started talking about this, the bob and all that. But, I guess being around your sisters, you got yeah. So were you able to finish your cooking? I know you told me when I called you, you said you were...
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I finished. It's I left it simmering, so it's
okay. Good. Oh, so you're the cook in the house now, are you?
Yes. I'm trying to do more plant-based foods, so I've just been trying to show them that there's actual good food that's not, without meat. So, yeah.
Plant-based. So do you eat almost meat, stuff like that?
I'm experimenting. This is like my first week actually doing it, and I love it.
Oh, all plant-based?
Yeah. No dairy.
No dairy, and no
dairy. So I've been having plant-based cheese. At this point, I was so upset. I was like, I don't want to talk about this. Can we just get into the damn meeting? Cheese, sour cream, it's so good. Plant-based meat, everything from Whole Foods, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, we use a lot of that plant-based meat.
Yeah.
But I eat real meat too, though, now. So,
no one asked, no one cares.
We'll do that.
Literally, no one asked, and no one cares.
You have to give your body a break.
Yeah. I get a lot of ideas from people, so I wrote down a list of stuff that they were getting, and they said it's really good, and I tried it, and I can definitely live without meat, like on that.
Yeah, you can't
Oh, me saying I could live without meat, girl, please.
buy the cheap. You can't buy the cheap stuff.
You have to.
That's for sure.
Yeah. My fake laugh. Ooh. But it's worth it.
They cater to Whole Foods caters to that style of eating when they make your hot bar too, don't they?
Yeah. So they still have some. I was so annoyed at this part. Like, can you just shut up and get started with the conversation? Like, let's go, bruh. Ugh. Like mac and cheese, but
it's almost like it's half and half.
Yeah,
half for plant-based people, and then half for regular.
Yeah. They cater to everybody. I think we want
for something like that's really good too.
Not the awkward silence. Eeks.
Make it and be here for this discussion that we wanted to have with you. You had expressed to myself and brother when we last had a call with you some doubts that you were having.
Doubts that I never wanted to share with anyone, but y'all forced me to.
Doubts based on the fact that you seen some things on the internet about Jehovah's Witnesses and some of the basic teachings as well that you were having some questions on. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we were able to share some scriptures with you. We discussed it, and I even shared an article with you regarding not to be quickly shaken from your faith, and directed you to some specific paragraphs as well. What were your thoughts on that article?
I've saw those articles before. I've read even that specific one that you had showed me. Okay, so the elder, we gonna give them names. The circuit overseer is Brother Dixon, okay, and the elder who's my field service coordinator, known him for years. Yeah, him. His name is Brother Brown. So Brother Dixon is the circuit overseer, and Brother Brown is the regular elder. Okay. So Brother Brown sent me he sent me some articles, some apostate articles. What am I gonna do with that? Like, I remember reading about it, and I see what you're saying. I just I can't just base all of my trust on one thing that's coming from one person, from one source. There has
You can't base all your what? I'm sorry, I missed something.
My full, if I see something that has me questioning the organization that I'm in, of course I'm not gonna hear from both sides of a situation if I'm only hearing one side. I feel like I need to see in order to really know if the truth is really the truth and it's really what it is, you know, and it shouldn't, nothing should ever even come close to not being the truth. So I feel like if it is, it shouldn't even matter if okay, so here it sounds a little confusing, but basically I was just trying to say, if it's the truth, it doesn't matter where I go to. The truth needs to stand on its own. Like, it shouldn't matter if I go to another article. If it's the truth, then y'all shouldn't be stressed. That's what I was trying to say.
That may be true, but let me ask you a question. Would you deliberately watch some demonic movies?
No.
Because you don't think the demons can do anything to you? Would you deliberately start watching demonic movies and go visit some witches and...
What does that have anything to do with what we're talking about, sir? See, after I had this elders meeting, I learned what word salad means. And this man is filled with word salad and manipulation. Okay.
Why would you do that?
Just not something I would watch personally.
Well, be honest. If you would you not do it too because you feel like it would have an effect? Like, would you go visit a witch and spend time with witches and pursue knowing what they do and how they live?
I mean, no, I personally, not me, but that's.
But you know, because you know what have an effect. Am I right? Don't you think that that's real?
What? How we get onto witches and demons? Like, how we get onto witches and demons, bro? Like, what are you actually talking about? What are you actually talking about right now?
That's because you know it's real. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, the reason why I brought it up, because there's a reason the branch warned us about going to certain websites, because that's the source. That's what the devil uses as his source, and so it's going to have a demonic influence. So it's kind of like the way you should approach this. The best way to have done it would be like you're doing your plant-based project. You know, there's a lot of people who speak negatively about plant-based eating, don't they? I mean, lots of doctors too. Professionals.
Which doctor speaks against plant-based eating? Why are we talking about plant-based eating? Why are we not talking about the situation at hand?
Right? But you realize that to make your decision, you say, I'm going to give this a chance. I'm going to go out here, I'm going to make a list, I'm going to buy the food, I'm going to try it. So can you honestly say that you made the truth your own?
What? He goes from plant-based eating to demonic influences to witchcraft to have you made the truth your own? Boy, please be for real right now. Ugh.
Did you really make the truth your own?
I definitely did make the truth my own to myself, but if I see something, you know, in the news, in the world, not just hearing this from, you know, random people that have left the religion and they just want to say bad stuff, but this is something that like actual high profile reliable sources from all around the world.
But the reliable sources say talk against the food you're eating, but you're eating it.
What? Bro, what are you saying right now, dog? Like, come on.
That's what I'm saying to you. But you're willing to
What are you saying, sir? You're saying a whole bunch of nothing.
Try it. That's what I'm saying to you. There are equal. They're not nuts on one side, and people who are they're on both sides are people who are reliable. That's what I'm saying to you. And so that reasoning's not working with this plant-based eating. That's what I'm saying.
This reasoning's not working with the plant-based eating. What? Okay, y'all. I have to break this up because it's pretty long. So this is part 1 of the elders meeting. Let me know what y'all think. What is he talking about? Plant-based eating. What?
Want to tell me what the house situation?
What do you mean the house situation?
Whose name it is under?
Doesn't matter whose name it is under. All that matters is that we're divorced and This house, which I've paid for, isn't for you.
Well, you haven't paid for it if it's not under your name, no?
Well, no, it doesn't matter whose name it is for.
Well, it does, because
Well,
we were together.
Okay, well, I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
Well, why are we living in it then?
Because it doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because if we
Well,
divorced...
no, yeah, we're not living in it anymore, are we? Well, I am.
So how long are you going to keep that a surprise for then?
It doesn't matter. You didn't pay a single penny for the house.
I contributed my fair share to this place.
How did you?
Cooking, cleaning, one less thing for you to
Well, congratulations.
That was the
You can cook
agreement.
and clean somewhere else.
Fair, like, why the do I have to go through this? And he's just fine. Like, that's not fucking fair. He gets to go about his life, have his home, have his cars, have his financial stability, and I'm over here struggling.
My husband abandoned me and our 4 kids for a 19-year-old escort. I went to Trader Joe's to buy myself a bag of groceries, swiped my card, and it was declined. I should have had a ton of money in that account, and it was all gone. It was gone. My name had never been on one of our homes. My name hadn't been on our vehicles. My name wasn't on the Mercedes that I was driving at the time that our marriage ended. He was able to evict me from the condo that we were renting together because I didn't even exist on the lease, not even as a roommate, not even as a pet. He just canceled the lease. I was just some weirdo living in the condo that Jake had canceled, and so the apartment evicted me. I'd always kind of thought in my head too, like, being a homemaker gives me a lot of skills that I bet would translate into a job. So I right away put together a resume, talked about all of the work that I had done in our family businesses, and went out and started interviewing for jobs. And there was not a person in this entire fucking world who wanted to hire a 44, 45, 46-year-old who had been a stay-at-home mom since the time she was 20. So my first and actually only job that I had after my divorce was $11 an hour, working as an assistant in an elementary school classroom 4 hours a day. If you did the math, $44 a day. The only reason that my rent is paid this month is, first of all, my TikTok followers are constantly supporting my content, and I have 3 separate jobs. Sales job, furniture flipping business, and I'm still working my Mormon essential oils MLM. I work 7 days a week. I have no retirement. I live in a family member's guest house that they could sell at any moment. I've only existed in the credit world for about 4 years, so I can't finance anything. And it just kind of pisses me off that I went into my marriage thinking that I had a 100% success rate. I didn't have an exit strategy. I didn't have any way to support myself if things went south, and here I am. So I've been living this out on camera for the past 3 years, and I don't plan to go anywhere. I'll keep you posted. Let's see how it ends. Would have been better if I had made different decisions in the beginning, and I wish that somebody had told 20-year-old me that a man is not a plan. Never has been, never will be.
Tomorrow is my divorce day, and it's been a lot, to say the least. This moment I have equally dreaded and looked forward to, and the fact that it is now coming to an end officially tomorrow is mind-blowing. I cannot wait. I'm so impressed and proud of myself that I have been able to get through this divorce.
Is it worth it? Oh yeah, it's worth it. If you're strong enough.
Alone. To be 25 years old and doing something of this caliber is huge. I am the youngest out of my friends to be married, and now I'm the youngest out of my friends to be divorced.
What? What?
So I hold that with a lot of pride.
Many months later.
Tomorrow's Christmas, and I'm just crying because of how hard it's been. I feel like I'm trying to prove to myself I can be strong. It's really painful dealing with the loss of everything. Not having my husband.
I used to be the ballerina farmswoman. We lived on a 200-acre farm. I worked as needed, part-time, full-time as a nurse, and then I started a business for my ex-husband, and I helped him run that while taking care of our 3 kids. At night, I would make gourmet dinners when I didn't work and gourmet desserts. I mowed the farm, I maintained the maintenance on the farm, I did everything on the farm. I ran the farm. My husband had started getting aggressive with me. We'll say that. Started becoming aggressive with me. So it was an abusive situation. So I said, oh, I'm leaving. I'm tired of this. And this is why they want women like her and myself to have so many babies. Because you can't leave when you have babies. You can't. It's too hard to leave when you have a newborn baby or even small children. And that's why they want her to have so many kids. She can't leave. And like she said, she's so exhausted. She can't even do anything. But I feel so sorry for her. I used to be the ballerina farms woman, and I can tell you how it ends. If you women think you're gonna marry these rich men like this, these conservative white men, and that they're gonna fly you around the world and they're gonna buy you fancy cars and fancy houses, they're not. They're not. They're not gonna buy anything that's not an investment that's gonna make them money. They're not. So if you women think you're gonna marry these men and live this great life and have these kids and be happily ever after, you're not. You're not. So I know how this story ends, and I feel so sad for her. They stole everything from me. Everything from me. They stole my inheritance. They stole my kids from me. My ex-husband's rich friends started ganging up with him to abuse me and attack me legally and financially. They paid off judges, lawyers, forensic psychologists, guardian ad litems. You don't understand what these rich people do when they don't get their way. So she's gonna get tired of that eventually one day, and she's gonna wanna leave. And they're gonna take everything from her. They're gonna take her kids, they're gonna take any money she should have gotten, they're gonna leave her homeless, they're going to leave her destitute. You women have no idea what it's like to be married to these rich men and how ruthless and unethical they are and how they will do anything to keep you around. They will not stop. This poor woman, when she leaves and if she leaves, her life will be hell on earth. It will be actual hell on earth.
So, word on the street, I heard you're single.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I think not all men, a lot of men right now act like women and they just want more. Bring back the patriarchy. I want to stay at home. I want to take care of my kids. What do you mean buy you flowers? What do you mean pay for dinner? What do you mean 50-50? What is that? I don't believe in that.
What do you want? What do you believe?
I want a man to take care of me.
So you want to be a housewife?
I want to be a housewife.
Okay.
Yeah.
The old traditional way?
Traditional. I'll do it. I don't mind. I'll do it. Fuck it.
All right, let's say you meet the guy that does all that. Like, he's willing to take you in and you basically be the woman to take care of everything.
Yeah.
Now, does he got complete control over you? Like saying like, all right, delete your Instagram. You can't be dressing all slutty out on the streets.
Here's my thing. I'm not gonna be dressing all slutty and like having Instagram. If I found the one and he gives me everything I need, he doesn't even have to ask me for that. I already did it.
Delete it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Without him even having to ask.
What about he wants to every time?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. 100%. 100%. If he provides for me, he's a good husband. He's loyal. Everything. He's good to our kids. What more could you ask for in a man? That's what I need. I need a provider.
What if he wants to slap you one time?
Okay, that's crazy.
Okay.
When I talk of the wickedness of Igbo patriarchy towards women, this is one person that I'm talking about. This girl here, she's my friend, she's my classmate. We grew up together, like we literally grew up together. She they see what marriage don't turn out to. See what Igbo man turn her to. Just look her very well. Do you know why she was sent out of her marriage? Because she born girls, 2 girls, and they demand for male picking as if it in our own power to produce male picking. So every time when I come out here, they tell say Igbo patriarchy is wicked towards women. The way Igbo men treat women that do not have male children, and the way Igbo men treat we Igbo girls for being male, it's abominable. It should be questioned. Because this girl, she married early. Immediately we finished secondary school, she got married. Then, when I even noticed that she got married was when I was already in Auchi Polytechnic. I came back one day and I saw her pregnant. And she has one baby with her. I was like, when you hear this one, when you quick marry, what it can happen? She did not say much because the Igbo patriarchal system go always teach us with the women not to say our problem outside. Then they shame us to keep quiet. May we not get voice. May we not talk. May nobody listen to us. So after some time, I think early this year, she called me for my shop, called it and say she know they are married again with this and that. Guess what? She don't go back to her parents' house. This now girl baby say she married at least she should be 17 or 18 when she got married. See what marriage don't turn out. Just look, my friend. This girl used to be one of the finest girls in our classroom. Like now girl baby say I dey look that time, I dey admire. Just our only offense now say she no born my pikin. Now that one they provoke me. Anyways, I go give her time. Make she narrate her own story. Mona come for party 2.
Here's a little bit of context to the recent tradwife drama. So this entire scandal involves a woman who goes by the name of Patriarchy Hannah or Harmonized Grace on Twitter. This is her Twitter profile. As you can see by her bio, it says, Christian, wife of What's Good It's Tea, which is her husband Tony, nap apologist, homeschool mom, known party pooper, feminists say I'm problematic. And as you can see by her whole vibe, she's very trad wife. The husband Tony runs a successful construction company. I think he even built the house they live in, while Hannah herself is a stay-at-home mother who homeschools their 14 children. Alongside this, she also runs a Twitter account, obviously, as well as a successful podcast. And one thing I have to clarify is that when I say tradwife, I don't mean like Nara Smith tradwife, I mean like Pearl tradwife. Her views were pretty controversial even amongst other traditionalist women, and obviously this video is by no means an attack on people who choose to live that sort of lifestyle, but she has some really unironic, horrible opinions. For example, she believes that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, and she just believes that women are inferior to men in every way, especially intellectually. She would go on and on in tangents about how modern day women are so horrible and how she feels so sorry for men for having to put up with us. Literally the stuff Pearl says to a T. She would like blame women for being single and childless, or when their husbands would cheat on them or leave them, and she would essentially say that it's their fault for not being submissive enough or being traditional enough or good enough wives, or essentially for not being more like her. Since she was on Twitter for so long, she obviously made a ton of friends during that time as well, some of whom she was really close to. So even off of the app, they would interact. Like, they would call each other every day, they would keep up with each other's pregnancies, they would exchange family photos, baby pics, they would even like mail each other gifts for like housewarming presents and like babies and stuff. So she had a lot of really close like friends from Twitter. Her husband would even interact with some of the guys on there, so they knew the entire family. Recently, somebody found some inconsistencies in her stories and decided to do a deep dive, and what they found will literally shock you. Shout out to this guy. I recommend reading his thread after you watch the video. After doing some research, they found out that Hannah does not exist. She is a complete fabrication run by a woman named Jennifer. This woman, Jennifer, leads the complete opposite lifestyle that she has been portraying. She is single, she's not married, she does not have any husband, she does not have any children, let alone 14 homeschool children. The children were completely made up. Like, it's actually insane. And the wildest part of this entire story is that when they reverse image searched Jennifer's pictures, her face popped up on a ton of adult fetish sites. She was creating adult fetish content, specifically like plus size content. This is obviously really, really shocking because it's the antithesis of a like traditional woman and the person that she was portraying herself to be. But also, remember how I said her entire like thing was just shaming and degrading other women for not being like as good as her? Just look at these tweets that she posted. This is just one example of the many ways that she'd body shame women. Like, here she's body shaming pregnant women for like gaining weight, and then it comes out that she's a plus size content creator. Talk about projection. The reverse image search also revealed a mugshot, and it turns out that Jennifer had gone to jail for, you guessed it, fraud and identity theft, which is wild, but it's kind of on brand with what we know about her now. This is a mugshot of Jennifer, who is allegedly the woman behind the Patriarchy Hannah account. While Jennifer was in jail, she met a woman named Alison. Now, Alison is kind of key to this story because you might be wondering, like, how did she get away with this for so many years without anyone knowing, especially when she knew so many people on such a personal level? Now, it turns out that Jennifer was also impersonating Alison. Whenever any of her friends would ask for a picture or anything, she would send Alison's pictures. And because Alison did not have Twitter, she had no idea that she was being impersonated for years. Here's Alison's fiance Ashley confirming that Alison was being impersonated. Somebody reached out to Alison recently as a part of this whole investigation, and they spoke on FaceTime so that they can confirm her identity and that she was the real deal, not an impersonator again. And Alison basically spilled the tea about Hannah or Jennifer's real identity. This is a tweet from the woman who spoke to the real Alison. I cropped out Alison and her fiance's picture, but you can see the full image on Twitter. Alison confirmed that she met Jennifer in jail and that there was no Hannah, no husband, no 14 homeschool kids. However, she had heard of a Tony. Guys, stay with me. It somehow gets even worse than this. The children might have been a complete fabrication, but her husband wasn't. He wasn't totally made up. Jennifer had actually dated a guy named Tony in the past. However, he'd unfortunately passed away many years prior of an overdose. So not only had she been faking her entire persona on Twitter of her and her husband and her kids, but her husband was actually her impersonating her deceased ex-boyfriend. It's literally sick. I think that covers the main stuff. Obviously, the story took place over the course of many years, so there might be lots of details that I have missed out, but I've tried to relate as accurately as possible to the best of my knowledge. I must still say, though, that everything in the story is alleged.
Have you heard about the Twitter famous tradwife creator who turned out to be a fraud? Harmonized Grace, aka Patriarchy Hannah, was a tradwife influencer on X who was very vocally anti-feminist, pro-patriarchy obviously, and she claimed to have 14 children which she homeschooled, plus a husband who owned a construction company. One of the weirdest parts of this whole story is that Hannah claimed that her husband Tony purchased a town at one point and he renamed it to Tony Town. Despite only having about 30,000 followers, Hannah was very influential in this space. She would go on podcasts, she would do interviews, however, she would never show her face. She also hosted a Discord server for women who had similar ideologies to exchange notes. So this all came crashing down a couple of days ago when this self-proclaimed internet sleuth, Ryan Duff, made a giant thread on X exposing her lies. So Ryan put together a bunch of inconsistencies that didn't really make sense with Hannah's story. He used official records and reverse image search to validate his claims. First, he says Hannah claimed that her husband Tony built this house, but property records confirm it was built by a woman and her sister in 2020. Ryan also made a lot of connections between Hannah and a woman named Jennifer Bays. For example, at one point, Hannah shared an address which could be linked back to Bobby and Joe Lynn Bays, who are Jennifer's parents. To add fuel to this theory, Hannah's grandmother died in September, and that was on the same day that Jennifer's grandma also happened to die. In the obituary, he said, "There's mention of a Haiti Education Foundation as a place to send donations." Hannah joked about this in Discord. The obituary also clarified some details on the family. It confirms that Bobby and Joe Lynn Bays are the parents of Jennifer. It also clarifies that there are 4 grandchildren that Jennifer is included in, and there are only 3 great-grandchildren. Hannah would deny requests for video chat from her friends in this space. He said at one point those close to her asked for proof of who she was, and she provided a photo. Unfortunately, the photo she provided was pulled from someone else's Facebook profile. So this person is Allison Brown. Based on more information that's come out since Ryan's thread, other social media users are claiming that Allison had met this Jennifer Bays woman in real life before. They apparently met in real life at some point, and ever since then, when Jennifer is claiming to be Hannah and is asked for a photo, she is apparently sending photos of Allison. As Ryan said, at this point, he's pretty sure, and honestly the rest of the internet is pretty sure, that they have confirmed that Hannah does not exist. It is probably somebody who is a 37-year-old woman named Jennifer Bays. She does not have a husband, Tony, at least in that capacity, and she does not have 14 kids. But it gets weirder. So then this woman comes into the picture. She says she spoke to Allison and her partner. They sent her this. She said they did know Jennifer from her past, and she had a husband named Tony who died of an overdose. So Ryan posted this giant thread. It started going pretty viral. People all over Reddit were picking it up. Hannah deleted her Twitter account for a little bit, and then she came back today and she changed her name to Jennifer. And she said, "I just want to say that I am sorry for the lies I told and hurt I caused. I never intended for this account to become as big as it did, and once things started snowballing, I enjoyed the relationships I'd built and didn't know how to put an end to it. The bottom line is that I am not who I presented myself to be." She continued, "When the original Hannah profile got started, it was just something fun with a friend and I. It got out of hand, and then Patriarchy Hannah came about. At one point, there were 4 of us running this account. We meshed together as different aspects of our lives that became the character." At this point, it sounds like this probably started as a troll that just kept going. And when you look at it like that, it seems to make sense, right? Calling yourself Patriarchy Hannah, saying you have 14 kids, your husband is a builder, the best builder there was, that he actually bought an entire town and named it after himself. It's like a caricature of this type of influencer, and unfortunately, a lot of people fell for it.
I'm here to tell you why that whole trad wife trend is absolute bullcrap. I just got off the phone with a friend of mine who has been married for about 15 years now. Before she got married, she got a master's degree in education and a law degree. She met her husband in law school. He wanted a traditional wife. She did not take the bar, and instead they got married. He took the bar. He passed the bar, he became a lawyer, and she became a full-time housewife and later a mom. Times 5. They have 5 children. Okay, Fast forward 15 years, where he has been cheating on her for years. She finally caught him red-handed. She has enough confidence and determination to say, I want a divorce, I'm done. He's walking away with a $300,000+ job that he got, by the way, from one of her mom friends in a mom group. Let's just put that aside. She has nothing. She has 2 advanced degrees, 0 experience. So are they even worthwhile? Are they even worth anything? She has nothing to show for it. And in the last 15 years, what has changed in law and in education? Probably quite a bit. So she is stuck at this crossroads of feeling like she has nothing. And before you say alimony, he is trying to screw her out of everything he possibly can. She cannot keep the house, even though she has primary custody of the children. She can't afford it. She has no job. Absolutely no job right now. And even if she did, there are 5 children. So between drop-offs and pickups at 4 different schools, she has about 3 hours in the daytime when she is not tending to children. So to any woman who is considering that the trad wife lifestyle might be it for you, I encourage you to think about this story. Remember it. And just remember that you as a woman need to have something for yourself. If anything, just for yourself, because you absolutely never know what can happen in life, whether it be divorce, whether it be cheating, whether it be the passing away of your spouse. You have to take care of yourself and put yourself first. You can still love and support your husband and be an incredible wife who takes care of your man, but take care of yourself first.
Trad wife content is not the trad life, because the trad wife makes money posting trad life content. Therefore, that trad wife isn't really trad, is she? What I do think that content does is subtly brainwash us into the idea that we should be making money while we are doing all of the trad life things. So, it's a little more insidious than you'd even think, which essentially makes trad wife content cosplay. It's just dress up. She's just pretending to be a trad wife. Chances are that woman is not being respected as though she helps pay the bills. Do you know what I'm saying? And she has all of the burden, none of the benefits. As for me personally, I would rather do fun little trad wife things like make my food and make bread and, I don't know, go buy olive oil from the local farmer's market and make my own money and be completely fucking unbothered by men.
What happens to the trad wives when their children grow up and leave home? Women are 3 times more likely to end up in poverty after a divorce than men. And I think, as mesmerising as the content is to watch, it's really important that we look at the financial implications of being a traditional wife. Submitting to your husband and just relying on him for money is actually pretty damaging. This isn't a question of whether staying at home or going out to work, which one's more valuable. It's not about that. The real thing is it's about choice. When we see these influencers with these beautiful, pristine kitchens that, you know, with 2 toddlers I know is not very practical, it's selling an aesthetic that isn't probably very real. But much more important beyond that is things like they're not getting an income, they're not paying into a pension, and they're not building up their own savings. They don't talk about money very often, but the hypocrisy is that they're making money off their platform. So for all the talk of saying, let's just, submit to our husbands, then, getting the affiliate income from an Amazon sale is pretty incongruous. What I like about Nara Smith is that she talks about her husband as how much he does around the house as well. And she talks about cooking because she's enjoying cooking and that's what she wants to focus on. I actually don't think she's the problem. It's when there's no financial autonomy. I don't actually think these young trad wives on social media are realising the long-term financial implications for themselves. Because romanticising this setup is not doing anyone any favours. It puts us back so many years in terms of what we've been able to achieve. If you want to actively choose to stay at home with your children and be a housewife, and there's so much work involved with being in the home, it's not about that. It's about protecting yourself and yourself in retirement and having education around empowering yourself with your money. We've also got to think about what we want to teach the next generation.
What do you think about it? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments.
We're trad wives. We believe in gender roles in our marriage.
We're trad wives. We believe a clean home is a happy home.
We're trad wives. Always obey our husbands.
We're trad wives. We choose to stay home and support our husbands.
Trad wives. We always have dinner ready when our husbands get off work.
Trad wives. We always satisfy our husband's needs.
Trad wives. We wouldn't be caught dead in a bar or club without our husband.
Trad wives. We always respect and appreciate our husbands for their hard work.